Hello everyone and welcome back to Sekien Inganock. Let's continue and possibly finish off chapter 5, shall we? All of the people going back and forth, overflowing with a powerful will that will allow them to survive in this horrible city environment. Beautiful and angry voices, laughter and weeping. All of them. All of them. They were all things she hadn't felt from the old man. She whirled her thoughts around. That was why when Guy unexpectedly spoke to her, she hesitated, opening and closing her mouth for no reason. Guy rubbed Kia's head with the palm of his hand. That was how he behaved towards children. She really wanted him to stop it. But right now it calmed her down. It lightened her heart and the incomprehensible things which filled it. When she let out a small grievance, the palm of his hand once again rubbed the top of her head. Was he just trying to cheer her up, or did he seriously think that he could persuade the man? Could Guy persuade that man? When they reached the apartment, the shorthand on the watch had already passed 0. Ruaha and one other came out to greet them. It was already quite late, and they'd been thinking about going to bed. The young girl stood next to Ruaha. She said the word, "Welcome home." Kia crouched down low, making her eyes level with hers. Then the young girl spoke to her. "What have you been doing?" Ah. The clown is dancing at the edge of my vision. It vanished, but now it reappeared once again. For some reason, the clown made him recall the past. 10 years had passed. His memories were now tender fragments, countless memories draped in red and black hues. On that day, at that time, I'm sure. Towards someone who's trying to say something. I with this hand. Guy opened his eyes. The inside of his room was still dark. It was night. Cheap engine factory-made curtains covering the glass window. The other side of it was filled with darkness, and the lack of anything twittering told him it was still night. The equation lingered in his right eye, so he could see it, faster than he could feel its presence. His right eye recognized the amount of carbon dioxide in the room. Ah. He really couldn't beat her at her own job. If that cat seriously snuck in under cover of night, then an amateur like Guy would never sense her. He'd learned that very well. The form of someone quieted her breathing. Guy laid her eyes on her breath later than usual. With eyes now used to the night's darkness, he was finally able to see the body lay beside him.
Ati.
He called out to the shadow that had been gazing at him without sleeping. Her eyes flickered slightly.
ごめん、起こした。まだ起きるには早いよね。
偶然、嫌な夢を見ただけだよ。本気の君に僕が気づけるわけがない。
眠り、浅いからすぐ起きるっていつもは言うくせに。
そうかな。
うん、そうだよ。
Attie's beside me, the cat of flint and agile chrome steel. Securing her sleeping space as always, curling up as always, and yet something felt amiss. Did her voice feel different somehow? Something wasn't the same as usual. Was the shaking in her voice just his imagination? No, he was sure of it. Those words had been wavering. Guy's right eye brought up potential reasons. The number of wounds on Attie's body had increased again.
また怪我をしているね。無茶をするなと何度言わせる。
There were a few more wounds now. He tried to touch her shoulder, but the cat's hand stopped him. A large Palouse hand, bigger than any human's. Pucelle. Pop. Fingers with the texture of velvet. They twisted around his cold fingers.
邪魔したわけじゃないのさ。ちょっとね、悪い夢を見たのよね。ギー、どんな夢だった？
覚えていない。
そうなの。嘘が上手なドクターギー、すぐわかるんだから。
嘘は？
うん、そう、そう。
Her beautiful golden eye was looking at him. That right eye was rare even among Pucelle. They exchanged gazes amidst the silence. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Normally, this would be impossible. Attie was the one who looked away. The black cat opened her lips and spun words before her golden eye could suck out his resistance.
どっちでもいいんだ、そんなことは。意地悪してる、私。ね、キスして、ギー。
ダメだ。
He softly released her twisting fingers and put the palm of his hand on her white cheek. Hot. Attie's skin had built up enough heat to transfer some warmth to Guy's cold fingertips. A lot of heat. Maybe because of her biz.
ひどく疲れているね、アティ。眠った方がいい。
いつもそう言うね、ギー。疲れてるから、いつもダメだって。
今夜は僕じゃない。疲れているのは君の方だよ。
そうかな。そうかもしれない。簡単なビズのはずだったのさ。厄介なものはいつだってそう。誰かが言うんだ。ごく簡単なビズだって。いつだってそう。いつだってみんなして騙されて、早く君の寝顔を覗きに行けるとか余計なこと考える。
A portion of her words wavered. Guy pretended not to see her eyes quivering.
二人死んだ。
Two of her runner comrades had died. The black cat continued, smiling with a hint of self-scorn.
知ってる？アムデロール、新型の。あれで狂った青がを仕留めるときにね、あっという間に二人殺されたんだ。
One had his skull crushed in by steel fangs. One had his heart ripped out by steel limbs. The black cat spoke as if whispering, as if shaking.
ちょっと仕留めたけどさ、あっという間だったんだ。ネギ、仲間が死んでも体は動くんだ。ランナーだもの、それがビズ。10年前に得たこの足が奴の牙を避けて、10年前に得たこの目が奴の首を取る。いつも通りのことをしたのさ。 抑えきれない相手にするいつものことは。笑っちゃうねギー。未だに私はどこかで意識をするんだ。このクロームで何をするか、何をしてきたか。クロームでやつの頸動脈を確かに切り裂いた。1年以上一緒に仕事をしてた仲間の死体が足元に転がっていても気にもしなかった。その時は少しは思った。これで不利になったな。情の薄い女になるね。どんどん私クロームが多くなってる。
奪還素が起こっているだけでも人は死になれる。
そう。じゃあ殺しにもなれるのかな。あんな感じだけど。
I have a hunch that Guy himself feels this every day. After all the infinite tears, her body had grown used to so many things. Yes, even to death. Guy didn't return her words. Guy couldn't return her words. He just touched her cheek and gazed at her golden eye.
すぐ検視が来たんだ。層の掃除屋でも並列葬儀組合でもなくて、上層の息がかかった白い服のあいつら。ハッカーに頼んで調べた仲間が言ってた。
Test?
新型の薬効を試していた節があるって。アムネロールがどれだけ効いてどうやって狂っていくのかとか。上層の連中暇だよね。上層の貴族様、都市の支配者、私たちを守ってくれない王様。おかしいね。こんなの今に始まった話じゃないのに、私何か誰も彼もが死んでいく、生き延びていることはきっと偶然。そんなの誰に言われなくたって。殺してるのは私じゃなければ殺されてるのは私なんだ。そんなことは分かってる。でもさ、私たちいつからこんな感じになっちゃったんだっけ。もう10年前がどんなだったかなんてこれっぽっちも思い出せないね。
Her faintly sparkling golden eye was wavering in the dark. He touched her teardrops with his fingers. Her tears ran down his fingers. They wouldn't flow down her cheek.
優しいねギー。わかるんだ、こんなの迷惑だろうって。君がこうしてくれるときはいつもそう。私がダメになりそうなときだけ。
お互い様。
Yes, both of us. We're both far from the people we once were. Guy whispered quietly. He'd become conscious of the number of lives he'd encountered, as if comparing the number he saved with the number he let die. And that was why nothing had changed at all between him and Atty. Yes, both of us. When one of us feels ashamed, the other doesn't.
嘘ではないよ。僕も君と大差がある。
そう。なら嘘でもいいよね。
As the black cat said that, she touched my cheek with her clawed fingers. He felt a soft warmth when he held her. Her body, which should have been strong, put all his weight into her arms. When he whispered into her ear, the ears on top of the black cat's head flickered. Holding her because that warmth only exists inside of her. That warmth sucked up by my cold skin. When he kissed her white neck, I can feel it, Atty's warmth as a living human on my lips. His lips touched her smooth white skin, not just once, but over and over. Atty's shoulders shook as they touched her. Her back quivered, and the heat coming off her body increased. She possessed exactly what Guy had lost. Strength of life. Guy felt her warmth was a symbol of that. That was why he touched her so lovingly. Over and over, he repeatedly kissed her white skin.
君の体こんなに冷たいのに唇だけどうして熱いのかな。こんなにほてって。
That's your own heat, Guy thought to himself as he kissed her neck. He stuck out his tongue a little and tasted sweat. Addie's body was quivering.
見るのやめて、いい？
The pucelle hands wrapped around Guy's back, tightened. The cat's claws dug in. A little pain, but Guy didn't show any sign of discomfort. The pain those claws brought about was of no concern to him. A black cat with physique and muscle strength by crack engines, far stronger than any ordinary pucelle. She could stop any ordinary citizen's movements in no time. Even so, he was unconcerned. He could feel a tiny trail of blood flowing down his back. His bones wouldn't break. Her retractable artificial claws wouldn't tear Guy apart. 8 years ago, something horrible had happened. But now she was quite skilled. Attie was unconsciously holding back.
嘘やめないで。そのままね、お願い。
Instead of nodding, I run my fingers down Attie's back. Her suppleness was conveyed through my fingers, even as she shook. As Attie put more strength into her arms, something soft pushed against Guy's chest.
胸潰れちゃう。いつもビズの邪魔だけどさ、こういう時は思うの。このままでよかった。ギーは好きだものね。
A sensation unchanged since 8 years ago. I feel softness and tension. The golden eye that materialized after the revival had stopped Attie's aging and physical growth. Nothing about her changed. Guy remembered her tears. He remembered the black cat as she screamed and wept, saying she'd become a monster. The large hands tightened around his back, and the ears and tail which showed emotions and expression didn't. She'd rejected them all that day, crying and screaming. Her body wouldn't change. These sensations were the same as back then. However, only her heart gets used to it.
ギー、熱い。
Instead of answering, he touched his lips to her neck. The golden eye was gazing at him, only inches away.
約束して。嘘でいいから、ギー、お願い。先に死なないって。私が死ぬまで消えないで。君が消えるまで私このままでいるからね。
I can say as many lies as you want. However, promises are... I can feel heat overflowing from her. It's rising, leaping. Where they are erotically connected, they could feel emotions and warmth. The horrendous quantity of heat filling her body from the inside became beads of sweat on her skin. It tinged her white and black limbs beautifully. Guy couldn't feel the weight from her implanted crack engines. Attie's thigh muscles were supporting that. Attie wanted to be careful of Guy's fragile body, so all the strength she tried to hold back changed into heat and built up inside of her. He knew because of this equation's right eye, any object of violent pulsing power at the base of his abdomen was inside of her, trapped between self-control and sexual sensations. I need to read that again, hold on. Okay, I got it.
君だけだからこんな風に我慢して君だけだよ
Attie's body twisted from the urges. As a result, the heat radiating out of her rose even higher. Her unconscious muscle control was placing a burden on many of Attie's nerves. Her rough breathing was surely more than pleasure. She was literally buckling. That was why Guy didn't ask. He only answered. Guy's cranial organs screamed. He was keeping them active to restore nerves with the phenomenon equation, as such long activation was exceedingly dangerous. Her whole body shook. Attie threw her head backwards as she reached her limit. Attie's lower abdomen moved violently, continuing to receive sensations from Guy, breathing and faint screaming. Her body bent like a drawn compound bow. Strong power and heat came from her enduring back and hips. In an instant, the heat stored up inside of her flowed out of every corner of her body, down to the tip of her fingertips and toes. Attie's breathing stopped. A sensation resembling numbness assaulted her body. That, along with the heat, beat against all of her body's nerves. Guy touched her convulsing abdomen. Under her skin, he was pulsing and contracting repeatedly, sending it into her heightened heat. My heat is mixing with Guy's semen now. I gotta say that, like, switching between, like, Guy and Attie perspective thing is throwing me off a little bit here. As my activated equation restores my nerves, her golden eye wavers. Gently, they both took their time. Attie whispered as the heat faded. It almost sounded like she was mumbling to herself, but her voice and rough breathing definitely reached Guy's ears. Don't go to the second water supply ward. An enforcer of city law. And that's what she's talking about. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. The sound of a clock, the sound of a clock. Is it time? Is it time? It continues to call. I should just record like one of these and just like keep adding it in. Seriously. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. The second hand moves and stops, pointing right at 1 o'clock. It is a pocket watch of silver, white silver, It is a pocket watch carried by one man. The golden spiral staircase towering into the darkness. The man standing at the foot of it is none other than the silver pocket watch's owner. With his master in the corner of his eye, continuing to climb the golden spiral staircase, the man continues to gaze at the watch, motionless. The man continues to gaze at the watch and speaks, like a chrome-built, machine-wound doll in an inorganic voice.
我が主、私の計測が確かであれば、今まさに完全起動に成功。楽しい間引きの始まり。喝采せよ！喝采せよ！
He climbs. One master climbs the golden spiral staircase. He is the controller, he is the grand prince, the fool, the king of Inganock, the magician and scholar who discovered the phenomenon equation. He climbs the golden spiral staircase, one step at a time, even now.
おお、素晴らしきかな。盲目の生贄はせず未だ都市にある。現在時刻を記録せよ。クロッククラッククローム。貴様の望んだその時だ。レムル震えるがよい。よい。これこそ我が愛の終焉である。黄金螺旋階段の果てに我が
愚かなものだよ、大公爵。あなたはまだそこを踏みしめて。あなたはもうダメなのに何？
黙れ黙れ黙れ黙れ。
Oh, thank God. This chapter's really long, I gotta say. The goat sisters, they're adorable. Alright guys, what do you gotta say?
パパとママの顔は覚えてない。気づいた時にはおじいちゃんがいたから。おじいちゃんは腕利きの漁師さん。雨の日だって平気で漁に出かけて行って、美味しい鬼おこぜを取ってくる。鬼おこぜの唐揚げ、おじいちゃんの得意な料理、大好き。鬼おこぜのお刺身、おじいちゃんの得意な料理、大好き。おじいちゃんは私たちの自慢。いつでも元気で強くて、第二水源区の漁師のみんなから慕われて。おじいちゃんは本当にすごい人だわ。都市行政から表彰だってされたりしてて。だから私たちは平気。パパもママもいなくたって平気だわ。私たちはいつも元気。おじいちゃんがいるんだもの、元気だわ。情報屋になったのだっておじいちゃんが面倒見てくれたから。パパとママを探すために私たちが言ったわがままだったのに。おじいちゃんは認めてくれて、スタニスワフの亀爺に頭まで下げて。私たちの全部おじいちゃんがいてくれたおかげなのに、どうしておじいちゃん病気になったの？まだパパもママも見つけてないのに。まだプレゼント渡せてないのに。おじいちゃん。
About creatures. The 41 huge, brutal fantasies that appeared in the city of Inganock. Their goal is to harm humans. The people see the creatures as calamities. No one handles them like living things. Since they couldn't be defeated through physical means, they couldn't possibly be handled as such. The creatures, who imitate the forms of illusionary fairy tale beasts, are said to kill humans by the orders of some other entity. The difference between them and normal monsters is that they all have a spiraling screw somewhere in their bodies. There's sure to be one in the body of any creature. With heights ranging from 3 to 20 meters, no form of physical destruction, force other than their unique weaknesses, would ever harm a creature. They release a sound which stiffens the human mind. It is called the voice of panic. It's also called the creature voice. There's a rumor of unknown veracity that they've hidden themselves somewhere for the past 5 years. The majority of the creatures except for one portion. By throwing in a number of powerful engine humans with crack engine implants all over their bodies, it is possible to temporarily halt a creature's activity. However, that only applies to the small ones. It's known that a portion of smaller ones were subjugated. By the details are unknown. About the known world. A world filled with the prosperity brought about by the steam engines, and covered in dark grey skies and seas. The sun and stars only occasionally peek through, between the corners of the mixing smog clouds in the vast grey sky. In this world, fine weather refers to when the smog is relatively thin. There are 3 continents on the world map: the central northern continent, the eastern continent, and the southeastern continent. The regions around the poles are uncharted. With the Lamar Sea in the northwest and the world water shell cutting off the southern part, creating a world map remains difficult. This world is an enormous spherical called a planet. The only proof that it is one is the fact that none of the people living outside these 3 dark continents know about this world. The Great Kingdom, or the Central Northern Empire, as well as the allied kings and nobles, have made the creation of planetary world maps a taboo. Those places crammed into the known world are only part of the planet. They have about the same total area as Sekien, Earth, or greater. The existence of a horizon has not been confirmed. About engines. They supply various forms of mechanical power, perform high-level calculations, and even manage information. They are a key part in civilization all across the known world. At present, all throughout Inganock is isolated from the rest of the world. It is no exception. Engines appear all over every tier of the city. They're all external combustion engines, and the greater the size, the greater the output. Aristocrats' mansions and engine factories, as well as some merchant homes, are allowed to set up large and medium-sized engines. At the level of an ordinary subject or citizen, one small-sized engine exists in each house. In addition, these past few years, it's become normal for people to steal engine energy. The most popular targets are city administration's power conduits. They use the power of the large machines it manages in each tier.
最後に涙をこぼした時刻、それがサレムが炎に消えたあの日、キーヤと出会ってすぐのこと、涙は溢れて、この10年で僕は他の人々と同じく無限の涙に溺れながら日々を生きてきた。すでに失ったはずだった。流せるものなど失ったものは多すぎた。人はあの日無限の悲鳴に包まれて、僕の失ったものは体の熱と睡眠と食に関する欲求と、けれども僕は涙を溢れさせて、そして彼の存在を得た。僕のこの手に今はこれで何ができるのかわからない。それでもこの手の届く人々へ僕は差し伸べることをやめはしない。絶対に、絶対にだ。
空の暗さを私は知ってる。誰もがそう。あの灰色雲、灰煙が立ち込めるどんよりとした景色、それが空。他には何もないのさ。いつだって変わらない。夜だってそう。暗いけど灰煙が見える。私は思う。あの空ってやつはギーによく似てる。すごく似てる。そう言ったらキーヤは変な顔をした。でも私にはそう見えるのさ。灰色の空は暗いけど、その向こうはきっと輝いてるんだ。 ヨタ話。私だって太陽なんて信じない。輝く赤い炎なんて空にあるわけない。でもさ、ギーならそういうこともあるかもしれない。そう思うのさ。笑っちゃうさね。
ギー、私を助けてくれたお医者様。暗がりに鎖でつながれていたキーヤをギーは助けてくれたの。魔法使いのお医者様、素敵なギー。不親切なようだけど本当はとっても優しいところが好き。毎日毎日いろんなところへ出かけて巡回医師のお仕事をする彼の背中が好き。髪の毛はもっと綺麗に切った方がいいと思うのだけど、あんな風にボサボサなのも好き。ギーの優しい目が好き。子供たちと話している時の彼が好き。誰かのために泣いた彼が好き。きっと忘れない。あの日、あの時のギーの瞳を。だってあの時のギーはとても
何のお話だったのかしら。おじいちゃんがずっと前に話してくれた。
おじいちゃんがずっと前に話してくれたわ。あちしたちが生まれる前のこと。
ずっと前のこと。
10年前よりももっと昔のこと。不思議な生き物は水の中にいたんだって。
おじいちゃんは言ったの。10年前のあれこれはそれが見えるようになっただけだって。
不思議な生き物、どんなものだろうってあちしたちいろんなものを想像して騒いだわ。
水の中でも錆びない溺れない都市精霊、水をスイスイ泳ぐプセール、
ずぶ濡れで風邪をひいたバーゲスト。
いろんなものを言ったけど、
おじいちゃんはこういうの全部外れだなって。
正解は
何だったのかしら。探しているの、探し物。私探してる。ずっと前に見つけたの。でも長い時が経ったからわからない。もうわからない。どんな姿になってるの？どんな声になってるの？探しているの。探し物。
Guys, holy fuck. What if that girl is that girl that the old man like did that promise with? Guys, bros, dudes, what if? It's crazy, right? About the phenomenon equation. A power born in Inganock, where numerous illusions manifested during the revival 10 years ago. The technology that doesn't exist anywhere else in the known world, but is unique to the isolated Inganock. It is a strange theory that the Grand Prince Astrea discovered while researching the reasons and causes of the revival filling the city. By understanding a certain kind of equation and carving it into one's brain, one can control phenomena resembling fairy tale magic. If mastered, it was possible to control flames more destructive than any firearm, or heal a damaged body. However, only a small portion of humans could learn the complex and strange Astrea theory. Those who can use it make up less than 1% of the city's population. Since there are so few examples, it remains unknown whether a mutated brain is required to learn it. Yugi.
ゴーレ、この名を僕は知っている。41のクリッターの一体、熱死の殺意。名の由来は西境の一地方である古カナーンに由来する泥人形だという。 人間を模して作られた泥人形。動作を止めるには記された文字を1文字だけ削り取ることだというが、クリッターであるゴーレムはカナアン泥人形のその特徴を継がなかった。上層兵で構成された師団が壊滅したのだ。文字を削るべくさまざまな手段を講じた上層兵師団はゴーレムの高熱によって怪人と化した。5年前のことだ。あれはひどい惨事だった。現在では復興が進んでいるけれど、5年前にゴーレムが活動した層の周辺は灼熱のマグマの海となり熱死を招いた。クリッターゴーレムは熱を有する。それゆえか水源付近での目撃例が多い。ゴーレムは総数33体が存在しており、5年前の惨事を起こしたのは中でも最大の個体だったという説もある。最大の個体は最大の被害をもたらしたというわけだ。絶望的なあの災害で最低1万、最大で10万の人々が消えた。もしも僕がまともな睡眠を得て過去を明瞭に呼び覚ませる夢を見たなら、あの惨事が浮かび上がるだろう。そう思えるほどにあれは
ギーのことは大好きだけれど嫌いなところだってあるわ。どんなに腕によりをかけて作ってもお料理にはちっとも手をつけない。そんなギーが嫌い。シャワー室にまだキーヤがいるのに気づかずにドアを開けて顔をわからめもしないギーが嫌い。コーヒーを朝食と言い張るギーが嫌い。栄養が偏ります。キーヤを子供扱いするギーが嫌い。失礼しちゃうわ。眠ろうとしないギーが嫌い。本当は優しい目をしてるのにたまにひどく怖い目をするギーが嫌い。本当はそんな風に思わないのに冷たいことを言ってしまうギーが嫌い。でもギーのことが好き。
Theory for a while that Kia isn't actually young. She's actually really old. Like, really old. And I say that because, well, I mean, Addie, we learned just a little bit ago that when she got that eye, her aging stopped. So maybe something similar happened to Kia. But I mean, Guy, he didn't see any, like, mutations with Kia. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know. I feel like she's actually really old, but yeah. About crack engines. Engine machines created through the use of the phenomenon equation, either to be equipped on or implanted into a human body. A type of engine machine that doesn't exist elsewhere in the known world, but is unique to the isolated Inganock. They were originally developed as artificial limbs for hosts of physical mutations, but their present applications have extended to include strengthening of the mind and body. Many humans in the lower tiers have substituted these engines for mutated bodies or limbs lost in monster attacks. Substitution surgery is used to implant them is quickly called enginization. There do exist some lower tier citizens who enginize themselves out of convenience, but they're different from those with over 40% of the body energized. It is said to be an extremely high mental and physical risk, but there are very few of them. There are many runners who energize themselves by implanting crack engine limbs developed for combat into their internal organs. If one becomes a completely energized engine human, it's rumored that one could annihilate even a large monster. However, the burden placed on the brain and the mind is amazing, and no successful instances of a complete substitutional surgery have ever been recorded. A certain group of people call this technology cybernetics. Neat. I believe we'll go this one. About the revival. An abnormal phenomenon which attacked the city of Inganock in the year 533, month 12, day 25, by the allied kings and nobles' reckoning. The great underground engines became home to the violent dragon, and every tier in the city was overrun with beasts, sprites, and abnormal plants and countless monsters. Many of the people in the lower tiers who lived through it changed into fantastic beings. Then the fearsome creatures had their way with the powerless people. The dead number in the tens of hundreds of thousands. Now that 10 years have passed, after the great many sacrifices and blessings, the people have just barely managed to coexist with the monsters. They flee from the 41 large, fantastic creatures, secure domains they can live in, and maintain their engine civilization by the skin of their teeth. This also became an opportunity to develop unique technology, such as the phenomenon equation and crack engines. Good talk.
ランナーのビズにもいろいろある。ハックにスラッシュだけじゃないのさ。たまには男を引っ掛けるなんてふざけた真似をしなきゃいけないこともあったりなかったりあったりもする。年に1回くらいはそんなビズの日がある。向いてない。全然そういうのは向いてない。ハックとスラッシュが一番いい。おめかししたって野良猫は野良猫さ。引っ掛ける男は大抵はボロつきだし、金があろうとなかろうと、中産層だろうと仮想だろうとさ。ろくでもない男ばっかり。ま、お似合いなのかもしれないけど、こっちはいい迷惑さ。そういうビズは、ほら、低層の危機ってやつがある。まあ、ね。いざとなったら爪がおなるだけさ。それで今のところなんとかなってる。私の相手をしたいなら、医療用のクラックの一つも使えて、金にならない巡回加入でもしなきゃ。別に誰のことでもないけど。
I need to find a lab coat. About the fantastic mutants. The term refers to those, give me one second, who were originally human, but whose bodies were mutated under the influence of the revival. The majority of Inganock's residents have come down with some kind of large or small mutation. In the strictest sense, it simply means citizens of Inganock. Have we gone over this like 8 times already? Generally speaking, it refers to people with large mutations that make their outward appearances different from humans. They're also called aliens, but this is a term for the upper tier uses in regard to the lower tier citizens, so it probably contains a xenophobic nuance. Hardly anyone in the lower tiers uses that name. Generally speaking, words such as Pucelle, Shelob, and Naga are used to refer to a different species. Back to Addie.
10年前のこと。実はほとんど覚えていない。私はエンジン工場に立ち尽くしてた。あそこで私は何をしてたんだろう。顔も思い出せない両親はあの日に死んだと聞いているけど、あの日確か大きな事故が上層階段で。
It's gonna have to be longer. I just want to give her a hug, man. She's so sad. About monsters? They're neither fantastic mutants nor creatures, but organisms resembling sprites and pixies from fairy tales. They're also called mythical beasts. Mystic. Technically, the engine spirits that occasionally pop into existence around engine factories are a kind of monster. But most of them make their homes in various corners of Inganock's lower tiers, since they're basically the same as animals. It is possible to attack and drive them off. The weak ones, that is. The strong ones cause tremendous destruction wherever they appear. The lower tiers of all are home to a great number of strong monsters. Unless you have a runner to escort you, wandering down to the lower tiers would get you killed almost immediately. Well, shit. Click it. About the fantastic city of Inganock. A royalty and nobility-owned large engine city located on the southern tip of the eastern continent of the known world. It is a multi-tiered, complete environment city whose construction was based on the Arcology city plan and looks like a single enormous castle. It was an enormous construct with several stacked tiers that over 1 million citizens called home. Year 2206 by the Central Northern Reckoning. Year 533, month 12, day 25 by the Allied Kings and Nobles Reckoning. The city was enveloped in an explosive formation of the infinite mist, and contact with the outside world became impossible. Covered in a frightening mist, the city changed into something fantastic, just like the sea and sky of the known world. The people in neighboring regions gave up on contacting what was once a city. It's said that Inganock has already been labeled as ruin unaffiliated with the kings and nobles. Neat.
僕は無力か。この僕はあまりに無力だ。誰かへ差し伸べるこの手に力はない。力に焦がれることはある。アティの熱は僕にはとても眩しくて。けれど、これが僕だ。どうしようもなく弱い人間。無力で何をも残せない男。ポルシオン。王の左手と炎の右手を持つ鋼。鋼の彼でさえ僕の力ではない。あれはきっとあれに関する知識など何もないのに漠然とそう思う。たった一つのおとぎ話。都市インガノックに残された最後の人にそんなことができるとは思わない。僕にはこの手をただ
あの子の呼ぶ声が聞こえる。気のせいだと決めつけても声は響いていて、そんな時ギーの服の裾を握るの。胸が温かくなるから。素敵な魔法使いのお医者様、あなたはあの子に。ギー、あなたはあの子に。
キーヤとギーってちょっと変だってそう思わない？
あの組み合わせはちょっと変だってそう思わない？
ずるい。キーヤは私たちとそんなには変わらない年齢だと思うのに。
だってあの子ったら男と同棲してるのよ。そんなに若くないけど男と同棲。
でもどうなのかしら。大人っぽいのがちょっと悔しいわね。
本人は大人だって言ってるのね。なんとかして情報を手に入れたいけど、あの子の情報は特一級クラスの機密並み。
おませさんのキーヤメ。
いつかギャフンと言わせて。
いつか絶対謎を解いてやるわ。
あの子はどこの何者なのか分かったら言いふらしちゃおうかしら。
言いふらすのはないわね。
言いふらすのはないわよ。覚えていたこと、たくさんの泡とたくさんの水と。
Called it. I fucking called it.
思い出せない。形をもらったのこの前だから。ずっと前覚えてたのに。たくさんの泡とたくさんの泡、好きになったの。あの子たくさん忘れたけど、一つだけ約束は。
And I called it! So, you know that fairy tale thing that Guy told Kia, like at the beginning of this chapter about the, like, princess and the crying and the bubbles she turned into and was saved by that one guy and whatnot. That old guy is that boy, and that girl clad in black is that princess. Boom! Yeah! I love it when I solve things. Let's see if I'm right. For real though, this chapter's long as fuck. Oh, here we go. Randolph again. Deep underground, where no one's voice could reach, beneath all the lower tiers, even lower than that, Randolph was digging holes tonight, as always. The underground madman dug holes while talking with someone who couldn't be seen.
これは困ったことになった年の果てだ。まさか私の戦地エンジンでも掘れないものに突き当たってしまうとは。なんという硬い土だ。いや、これは土ではないのだ。なるほど、これが真実か。
You found the truth?
もちろん見つけたさ。私は天才なのだから。しかし、これはそのほんの一部だ。これで私の穴掘りが終わるわけはない。
What? But you found truth.
私にとってはただの行き止まりだ。ここから先は誰も行けない。無理に掘れば崩れて死んでしまう。生き埋めになってだ。
Then, what will you do? But that's truth.
回り道をするのさ。
During the daybreak, the city shakes my body twice. An earthquake, as if the city itself was rumbling, the first one in recorded history. The magnitude wasn't that great. The first shake couldn't have been felt by more than 10% of the citizens. Those who understood what that shake meant probably numbered less than 1%. However, most of them might have felt it. Maybe a little bird told them. Maybe a chill ran down their spines. Those who felt something fearsome. Many of them probably took it to be a nightmare. It certainly was a manifestation of a nightmare. What the first shake meant, what the first tremor produced. It is huge. It is terror. It is one of the 41 creatures. It is Golem. It had materialized after 5 years. It was an enormous nightmare and a phenomenon. It materialized in the lower tiers, in the second water supply ward, filled with water and dull greenery. He looks so happy. Stuck into the center of its back was a spring screw. There was a huge silhouette in the center of the second water supply ward. It was a doll. It was something fantastical. A fantasy resembling a horribly warped human. Pulled along by its queer arms, the silhouette destroyed the surrounding buildings like they were toys. But it wasn't destroying them out of purpose. It blew away purification engine plants and other buildings just as a result of moving its arms. No will, no intent to kill. Destruction was simply a result of it existing and moving. If anyone saw it, their minds would almost certainly freeze up. Their bodies, which should be used to terror, would tremble. That which brought about terror to all who saw it. This fantasy was equipped with such original terrors. Destruction, death, terror, screams. All of those constructed this original being. All who lived in the city were in awe without exception. A creature. The screw of death sticking out of its back proved that this fantasy was a creature, a terror sleeping in the city. Everyone who lived through the revival 10 years ago knew about them. One of the 41 creatures that devoured people. One of the 41 great terrors that covered the city. Its individual name is Golem. The creatures, they are terror given powerful form. Golem had the greatest physical strength among them. It could easily take tens of thousands of lives. The ultra-high temperatures of its fingers and breath melted everything. Cries of panic rang out. The city was shaken far more than ever before. That was the second quake. The moment Guy heard the voice far below him, he shuddered. He knew what was beating against his mind. He couldn't not know it. Those who lived in the city all feared it. Even his fingertips shook. He couldn't stand. Even breathing became painful. His body too.
クリッターボイス。これほどまでに巨大な。
He gritted his teeth. He endured. His cranial organ activated half of themselves. The phenomenon equation lessened the stiffening of his nerves. He looked down at Kia, holding his hand. The girl hadn't fallen into the state of panic. It was almost as if she didn't know what was happening. She doesn't know? There's no way she wouldn't know it from 5 years ago. But right now, he appreciated Kia's reaction. He could avoid being swept up in the situation around him. The people were in a horrible panic. Some screamed, some cried, some fell to the ground and shivered. Some even threw off their oxygen masks and shouted things. There were even more, some clutching their ears and convulsing. The descending monorail that had just arrived, the one Guy was trying to get on, was right now. Passengers ran out of it screaming. He'd heard that voice from far below him. Therefore, the people were fleeing from it.
キア、ルアハが来るはずだ。ここにいて。
ダメ。今の音、声ダメ。みんなこんなに苦しそうに。
明け方に彼を訪ねると決めたのは僕だ。大丈夫。君は知っているね。
With Kia's voice behind him, he boarded. He operated the emergency controls, changing it to express. Then he raised the speed, setting the destination to the second water supply ward. He closed the doors before Kia and her words of protest could board. The monorail began to move without any brakes. I have to hurry. I have to get there first. I have a feeling the shadow behind me is screaming, telling me to do that. Hurry. Faster, Guy. Faster. Faster. How many months has it been since I last sprinted? I nearly trip as I fall out to the monorail. He hurried to the reservoir, heading for Old Man Von Gu's cooperative residence. The further he went, the stronger the voice became. Humans with minds strengthened by crack engines, monsters naturally equipped with psychological management abilities, they all fled from the voice, trying not to be devoured by the terror.
こちらへ進む者はほぼいない。帰って都合がいいか。
His left and right lungs were tightening up as from the burden of sprinting, so he strengthened them with the equation. He could keep on running. Finally, I can see the reservoir. And countless cables. There was a chrome blockade that hadn't been there yesterday. The path to the reservoir was already sealed off. The guards looked towards him. It was horrible. They weren't just guards. Upper-tier soldiers, lumps of crack engines sent out by aristocrats, living machines which enforced city law.
このタイミングで都市法の執行なんだこの違和感はまるでクリッターの出現は
He had no choice but to look for a different route. The paved roads no longer went to the reservoir. All passage through it were prohibited. The people fleeing can't get out through this blockade. Then... As Guy stood before the blockade, small silhouettes rushed towards him from behind, pushing through the crowd of people. They were Agnes and Francesca. He rapidly confirmed that Von Gu wasn't with them.
アグネス、フランシスカ、おじいさんは
私たち追い出されて変な声聞こえて兵隊たち来ておじいちゃんまだうちにいるのねえどうしようどうして聞こえてくるこの声何怖いよドクターおじいちゃんまだ向こうにいるのに
まだ中にいるんだな。わかった。
So they've already decided to prune. Sorry, people. I glare at the upper tier soldiers in my way. Valuable citizens. In other words, young humans seen as beneficial producers for the whole of the city. Only they had been chased out of the ward. Old men, children, the sick and wounded, those people had been left inside the blockade. The twins must have been put outside because they were young yet skilled informants. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have been here. In other words, the city law really is being enforced. The pragmatic pruning of lives. However, the upper tier wouldn't kill them. They'll just abandon them. As if they predicted this would happen. Just how many people were being pruned? Yi knew it wouldn't be just 10 or 20. The scale would be bigger than that.
ギーかお前こんなところで何してる
What the fuck are you doing out here?
エラリー
His old friend was there. Why? He rushed this way from behind the blockade, with a few upper-tier soldiers seeming to follow him. A few upper-tier soldiers? Why was eerily? There was no way a single lower-tier doctor could hold out against the battle strength of an entire division of city soldiers. And why could he move within this voice? He was like the young twins who barely remembered 5 years ago. I understand. There was an external crack engine on both of his ears. Standard equipment for upper-tier soldiers. An anti-creature engine.
エラリーお前都市管理部の片棒を担いだのか
ひどい言いようだなギー私は散々お前に残念だ本当はお前も今日はこちら側のはずだった
この音が何か忘れたわけではないはずだ
そうだ正真正銘のグリッターボイス忘れもしない5年前の悪夢
Eerily raised his arms towards the decaying grease scenery and the muddied second water supply reservoir. And to the silhouette he could catch glimpses of beyond it. A silhouette larger than the multi-story buildings, an embodiment of terror.
あんなものは予定にはなかっただがあれは行幸だこれでみんなが納得する投資法の明確な執行は行われないだ見捨てるわけでもないぞギーあれは現象だ
A creature, a natural phenomenon of the city, which kills humans to no end.
だからもう終わりだあそこにいる人々はこれで終わりなんだこれこそが都市法だ幸い水源はまだいくらでもあるこんなことくらいで仮想は滅びたりしない大丈夫なんだその子たちもお前も私もまだ生きていられるんだ
Just a little bit. In Eerly's voice, he saw the glimpse of the med student from 10 years ago.
幸運に感謝しろギー妙なことだけは考えてくれる今この時この瞬間あそこにいなかった僕らは生きることを許されたということだわかる
生きることを許された
そう
A few 100,000 people in the city of Inganock. They're living underneath this law. Even if that law was the pruning of lives, even if it was abnormal by the standards of 10 years ago, this was reality. Eerly's words were the truth. He wasn't mistaken about a single thing. The upper-tier soldiers behind him were proof of that. The law and reality. They were just as he said.
そいつの言ってるの本当
However, this really was... La-di-da-da-da. I'm not going to forget to save this time, because that'd be a horrible travesty. Alright, back to the game. Let's see. Not important. Nothing that important. Guy closed his eyes. Once again, that voice rang out next to him, exactly the same as the terrible tragedy 5 years ago. He heard Early's voice. The twins' sobbing reached his ears. The same as 10 years ago. He couldn't answer someone calling for him. His cranial organs lost their strength. The phenomenon equation he'd gained during these past 10 years disappeared.
そうか、僕には不要なものだったか。あのクラッキングコア。
His thoughts diffused. So this was the price of the organs and powers he'd gained.
心残りはいくつかあるわ。
These nightmarish 10 years would end here. That wasn't so bad. It was a fitting end. That time has come. That's all there is to it.
諦める時だ。さよ。
The illusion, which should have been at the edge of his vision, darkened his vision. He saw the clown once more. Guy had given up on something. He looked up at the city's sky with his eyes closed. Yes, just as the gray sky went on forever. The shadow behind him said, goodbye. Bad end. Alright, now let's fucking get this good ending on. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on. No, this changes nothing.
諦める時だ。さよ。
Silence. The masked clown reborn at the edge of his vision was whispering, give up. It was twisting that into him, leaving only a laugh. The illusion disappeared. Ah, so that's what it was. Nothing at all had changed. The clown was dancing unchanged at the edge of his vision. He hadn't changed anything. What I must do hasn't changed a bit. That's why. Right now, this hand. He extended it to the place it should be. He coughed violently. At the very time, the tremors grew larger. His hand shook slightly as he held the pitcher. As the old man violently coughed, blood fell onto the floor. He no longer had the strength to walk to the window. Van Gogh closed his eyes. He silently wished for his granddaughter's safety. The giant who destroyed another Tears water supply ward 5 years ago. He'd heard it had appeared once more. The evacuating fishermen had told him. Were the ward's buildings being destroyed one by one? Various sounds and vibrations told him so.
大層な迎えがわしだけを殺しに来れば怪物どもには関係のないことだ。
His consciousness was starting to unravel. He felt as if he had to speak to keep himself together. He couldn't even get out of bed anymore. A few days. He laughed at how far off he'd been.
他にも嘘をついていたんですね。
He heard the voice of the girl he'd met yesterday. Even his memory was wandering now. He'd moved only his eyes. The girl. Black clothes, right there. Too clear to be an illusion. At the old man's bedside, there were pink eyes silently gazing at him. An illusion? No, even if it was.
驚かされた。いやいかん。逃げなさい。お前さんが守るしかはないのなら逃げなさい。わしはいいんだ。 孫たちは兵隊さんがこれでいい。あの子たちは立派に金儲けもできる。残した未練はない。
The old man quietly told her. There really was no reluctance or terror within him. There was something calm and comforting in his heart. He showed a smile to the illusion of the standing girl, so that she wouldn't notice his stabbing pain.
ダメダメ、嘘は聞き慣れてしまったの。だからどうかやめてください。嘘を言うのはやめて。プレゼントもらうって約束したのに。
Present? Ah, my granddaughters must have told her. So that was the pain stabbing at his heart. The old man was now clearly aware of it. Promises were things which must be kept. However, he had already chosen his promise from 65 years ago. On that day, at that time, he met her when he nearly drowned as a young boy. A girl in black, different from this illusion. That's right, she was shorter. That's right, her wet, black hair was beautiful. Called it.
もう一人その子はヒーヤ、その隣にいる誰だ。いけない、二人とも逃げなさい。
黒いフー
The girl shook her head. She earnestly told him that no such person was there, not with words but with her tears. But the old man could see her, the young black-haired girl with a kind expression on her face. Then a shock echoed through the cooperative residence. The old man couldn't tell if it was a giant closing in or not, destroying everything in his path. The sound of destruction, something hard, and then the strange noise of crumbling and evaporating. The old man laid eyes on it. The enormous, hard left hand easily wiped out the second and higher stories of the cooperative residence. I can see the sky through the crumbling ceiling. The gray sky lay beyond the demolished ceiling. That external thing was obstructing by a warped face. The giant is peeking in. It's moist. Something like a gaze swims over me. This old man, and this illusion of a girl. In order to break human lives, the giant moves its face closer, while exhaling its rotten, ultra-hot breath. The girl's whispering voice was shaking. From fear, the giant reacted. It extended its fingers. Its wrinkling fingertips gave off ultra-high temperatures. Anything that touched them would evaporate in an instant. It gave off an air warped with death. A voice I've heard before. It's sharp. Just a slight shock. Fragments flew in every direction. There was a hand stopping the giant's fingers. A hand stopping the giant's destruction. The hand blocking its extending, as if to protect the old man from the finger, or perhaps to protect the illusion of the girl. The old man called a name. Did he do so aloud? He didn't know. He just screamed. He screamed the other man's name, the man who'd stopped the giant. No, he wasn't producing a voice. The old man screamed even as he coughed up red fluid. Answering his voice, that hand extends. His right hand is extending forward. But it wasn't just Guy's right hand. A different right hand was extending from behind him. A hand made of steel. It was overlapping with Guy's. As if stirring, it continued to extend freely, That hand sliced through the high-temperature space. It was extending towards the giant's face. 5 steel-colored fingers writhed and materialized. Its fingers joined, scraped, making a noise. It gave off sharp metallic sounds, like the strings of a lute. What is this? Something was here. Someone was here. It wasn't Guy's hand. It came from someone behind him. Someone was extending a steel hand from behind Guy. The sound of grating steel rang out. Something was behind Guy. Who? What? Something covered in steel was behind him. To the old man it looked like a shadow. He knew something made of steel was extending a hand from behind him. He didn't have the slightest idea what it truly was. Human? No. This was something else. He didn't know who or what was there. Some great steel entity. No, that was impossible. That couldn't possibly be behind him. There was no way that could exist, but... The old man knows. Fairy tales are no different from reality.
ボネガット老人、あなたには悪いな、このデクが。僕、あなたを殺させはしない。
The steel shadow took on a form. The steel hand moved as if answering his words. The steel hand, he just extended, forward. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. The sound of the clock, the sound of the clock. The time is the time, the should call. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. The second hand moves, it stops, pointing at 0 o'clock. It is a pocket watch made of white silver. This pocket watch carried by one man. The golden spiral staircase towering near the darkness. The man standing at the foot of it, none other than the watch's owner. With his master in the corner of his eye, continued to climb the guidance staircase. The man continues to gaze at the watch, motionless. The man continues to gaze at the watch and speaks, like a chrome-built, machine-wound doll in an inorganic voice.
大いなるクリッターの一橋ゴールかの三博士さえ戦慄する破壊現象ザ・バークに対応する33体のうち最上級の1体を用意した貴様にやれるか惨めな機械使う貴様の刃の熱は通じはしないせめていいや
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Something impossible is occurring. Armor that no blade or bullet could ever penetrate. The sturdy upper-tier soldiers were clad in total armor, made of only the finest engines. But they were nothing before it. Those machines lived only for the upper-tier aristocrats. They didn't even need to sleep. If the soldiers quickly lost consciousness and passed out. And they just fell over so easily. Yearly's face went pale. He'd seen it. What was that? The shadow was rushed out as the upper-tier soldiers fell to their knees. A medium fantasy. What is that? What just passed by?
あれはギ見たか今のはギどこへ行った
The right hand of steel tears through the darkness. Covered in a steel helmet, a single light shining sharply.
なぜお前たちは現れるのか僕は知らないけれどこの手を阻もうとするのが何度でもこの手で排除するまでだクリッターストーンゴレム
He silently extended his right hand forward. He also extended his steel right hand forward, as if tracing a path. It moves, yes, this thing moves. It actually moves as I will it. Something seemed wrong with his vision. There was no cloud. Instead, he knew that there was a fantastic shadow behind him. He extended his steel arm and saw the same things as him. The large creature peering down at him. one of the 41 deaths. Guy could see it without activating his equation. He wiped away the voice that brought panic. He and Guy glared into the giant's eye sockets. My right hand. It directs the steel hand as if it were my own. This isn't the phenomenon equation. However, somehow it feels real. There was something that he at the back could do. There was something that he and Guy needed to do. What must I do with this hand? I know. The same thing as before. The giant gave a roar into the incomprehensible intrusion. Its heat began to scorch the atmosphere, producing phenomena. Guy could clearly see its scattering death. Guy's right eye had already captured everything about the creature, Stone Golem. The high temperatures covering the surface of its hard and supremely massive body. That was death itself, an amalgamation of death. Death by incineration. Death, a phenomenon of death capable of evaporating people without a trace. The arms of death rose up. Their targets were Guy and him. The flames burned furiously, destroying space itself so fast my eyes can't follow them. Mortal bodies could hardly hope to dodge them, except perhaps for Pucelle soldiers, with their sharply honed nervous reflexes, or heavy-engine humans with nerve reconstruction. But even if they'd managed to dodge the fists, they would have been evaporated by the ultra-high temperatures wrapped around their bodies. And yet he was alive. Guy still lived. He stood there without even a scratch. In the very air, the giant's heat had melted. He glared at the roaring giant with his right eye. It was probably a cry of panic just now. It destroyed people's cranial nerves, planted seeds of death and insanity. And yet, he was alive. Guy still hadn't died. He probably would have died if this had happened not too long ago. But now the steel him was protecting Guy, and he wouldn't die, not yet. He focused his mind into his glaring right eye. His right eye saw all of the rampant giant. Creatures are indestructible. Physical destruction is impossible. In the case of Stone Golem, the sole means of destruction is destruction of all joints.
なるほど、確かに。人は君に何もできないだろう。
The vaporizing death golem, with an epidermis that repelled all attacks and a body protected as if by the gods. Therefore, humans couldn't possibly kill it. The sole means of destruction was destroying all of its joints. Therefore, humans could absolutely not kill it. Bullets and bombs would evaporate before reaching it. However,
けれどどうやら鋼の彼は人ではない。
my right eye sees, as if coupled with my right hand.
鋼の君、我が機械トロシオン。僕は君にこういう刃のごとく。
Tearing apart, melting, and wiping out. My right hand is a blade wrapped in flames. This right hand that cleaves beasts in half. Fiery hand of the fairy tale king. His right hand was a blade summoned from an open steel chest. Together with flames of the utmost temperatures, it enveloped Golem, slicing the beast in an instant. The creature was enveloped and broken down by the high temperatures blades before him, before it even had a chance to scream. All of its joints, torn apart, fragmented, pulverized. The remnants of that tremendous flame were left behind as if blown apart. The surface of the reservoir's water shook. Clack, crack, chrome!
貴様の望んだその時だ。レムルレムル 震えるがよい。これこそ我が愛の終焉である。黄金螺旋階段の果てに我が夢、我が愛の形あり。
He climbs, he climbs, he climbs. One master climbs a golden spiral staircase. He is the controller, the grand prince, the fool, the king of Inganock, the magician and scholar who discovered the phenomenon equation. He climbs a golden spiral staircase one step at a time, even now, even now. He aims for the peak, he desires that at the highest place. And that which stands at the peak laughs, even now, even now. It lies at the end of the golden spiral staircase, the dark confined space where the dregs of the king's dream sleep. He who is trapped within the darkness laughs, even now, even now.
テクが壊れたよ大嫌いなテクが最後の機械が剣を手に
He who is trapped within the darkness laughs, even now, even now. He raises a voice of exultation and extends his hand. That hand wriggles in the darkness and tears open. Under the darkness, the hand grasps the sky. His left hand tore through the black cloth and showed a little of itself. Okay, Randolph, one more time, let's do this. Deep underground, where no one else can reach, beneath all the city's lower tiers, and even lower than that, Randolph was digging holes tonight as always. The underground madman dug holes while talking with someone he couldn't be seen. Scratch, 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 scratch.
これで回り道ができたかな。大切なことは結果として何が残るかなのだ。すなわち私の通った後には穴が残るのだ。これ私の穴に対して真実などが立ちふさがるなど少子千万じゃないか。何？そもそも真実とは何なのか。さてどうだったか。そんなことはどうでもいいことだ。
Alright. We've gone like 35 minutes over the normal like hour-long recording session. I'm gonna go ahead and end it. And we will finish... Fucking Jesus. Finish Chapter 5 in the next video. Hopefully. For the love of God, if we do not. Because that's at least, I'm gonna guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos that have been Chapter 5. At least, because I think this one here, we like ended Chapter 4 and then went on to Chapter 5 during that one. So it's been like fucking almost 5 goddamn videos. It's gonna be a 6th one. This entire week, Chapter 5. Holy fuck. And there's still like, this is Chapter 5, and there's 12 chapters, at least, in this walkthrough of like what selections to make and whatnot. But if they're all this long, holy fuck. And I actually looked again, and it says that there's 10 to 30 hours of content. So my estimate of like, yeah, we're gonna get around 15 videos. Yeah, it might actually be like more like a 30, 25, something like that. I mean, it really depends upon reading speed and how much you mess around with the side stuff, I suppose. But yeah. So if you haven't noticed, I've been getting really like antsy with the repetitiveness of some of the things, like tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. That stuff. And Randolph's scratch, 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 dig, 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 dig thing. Or brush, 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 I suppose it is. And there's like so much that is like reused over and over again. And like some of it changes, but not much. And I'm just like, okay, fuck this. So I'll start like reading really fast, or I'll be like skipping some lines and be like, fuck it. Because we've all heard it like 5 times already, so it's great. But yeah, so I was right, I think. That girl and the old man. Hopefully we'll see some more continuation of that in the next video. So until then, everyone, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye-bye.